We are live, and we're going to talk about Hawkeye episode 4 with some friends and co-hosts and partners. Partners. Am I right?
You're right. Partners. We're not partners. We're not friends. We're not partners. From the show. Jesse and I are partners.
Yeah. We're co-hosts. We're virtual friends. Yet to shake hands. Someday. But yeah, it's funny. This episode's called Partners. Am I right? And it's a lot about Hawkeye and Hawkeye. Established, they have their ups and downs. They're established partners. Let's just jump right in because I've got a lot of timeline to cover, and we'll come back to partners, and we'll come back to conspiracy theories. I've got a lot of strings to pull.
Oh yeah.
There's going to be no sweater left because I put the conspiracy board in the background here. You can see Pepe from Always Sunny in Philadelphia. I'm like, I have this chart up at work. I have the craziest organization chart of staff at work. And I didn't start it, but it looks like this string theory thing. And I put Charlie in front. So for this show, I put Kate in front and Daredevil off to the side because we're going to pull some strings and connect the dots. And she does it in the show, right? And we'll talk about it a little bit more later where she's drawing on the poster and doing her own little, here's the tracksuit mafia, and here's Maya, and here's the cops and Jack. And we've got a lot of threads or strings to tie people together and webs to weave. How are you doing, Larry? Before we really
I'm doing great. We actually did our Denlug holiday party yesterday.
Oh wow!
So that was fun. I got a what if set for our dirty brick exchange.
Oh, okay.
We did the first draft that I've done in like 2 years, so that was cool.
Yeah,
been a long time.
Yeah, been a long time for in-person stuff there. Or you guys do events at the brick mix, bricks and minifigs and stuff like that, though.
Yeah, we run a display there. Changes out every 2 to 3 months. They have their own right now, so we take a break and they put their own Winter Village up. Don't know. We don't know. We haven't decided what's going in next, so that's up for discussion. And we have a cubby at the Park Meadows Lego store. So let's see, also the Air and Space Museum, and there's a library. So we have like 4 installments around town that we get our stuff out. So it's pretty cool. Yeah.
There's some partners, am I right stuff right there. Lego,
am I right?
Lego family is like interweaved and connected all around Denver. I wish I was I don't know, life happens, but I didn't get into Lego until I moved back here, but I lived in Denver for a while. So one of these days I'll get back there and check out all those venues, or at least a few of them.
Yeah. Definitely.
I was also.
You come here, I'll go there, but one way or another, we will shake hands in person.
Yes.
I got to meet a couple of online Lego people last weekend. I was absent last weekend because we were doing Lego. We were at the Brickfest Live, and it was a kick in the butt time.
Nice. Heard it was a big show.
I met Ezra Builds from California. I met veteran Lego dad, who I found out lives here.
Oh, that's right.
Roger. Met Roger and Ezra and their wives, and got to talk with Corey, Lego Master Corey, and Lego Master Caleb. It was really cool. They after all the tear down, everything after the crowds were gone, we just hung around and talked and hung out with Moto, of course.
Yeah.
And just awesome guys.
Nice.
It was a lot of fun. We had a huge display. I guess we had the largest display for Brickfest Live outside of their home base for a lug. For one lug, we had the largest display so far. We made ourselves proud.
Yeah, I mean, that might go a long way with them because they just kind of experiment with different towns around the whole.
Oh, CJ loves this.
Because they came here and our lugs showed up, but I mean, I don't know that it was like all that. Lugs, am I right? All right. What else? I put a little Lego on my shirt. I got a little bullseye here.
Oh, nice.
A little lavender on my Lego Levi's. And I got a shipment today since one of your friends might tune into this show.
Cool.
Mike, the comic consultant, sent me a package. And I got to say, this guy knows how to ship things. Because I'm like,
telling you what, man, he's a pro.
How are comic books going to ship in the mail? I'll just try it out.
Yeah. It's a big deal.
I bought one thing, and then once I said, "Hey, are you going to ship those?" He's like, "Oh yeah, let me know your address and all that." There's a box, and then there's another box, and then I think they were like really taped together so they don't jostle around.
Mm-hmm.
And I got this whole package for $30.
Yeah.
There's the sticker from that's all I saw, and I knew it was a good deal. I got 5 different books, but I didn't know what I was getting.
Right.
It's Thor issue 700, which is the first appearance of Throg. So Johnny G, where you at? I got my Throg.
And you've got like variant covers of that one issue, right? Was that?
Yeah. So I got
not there that show that he did that, but you got.
I got green. Right? I got black, no title. I got the movie Chris Hemsworth issue. I got another one. This one's like pinkish. And Lady Thor cover.
Very cool.
Which is cool. I've yet to read. I knew I didn't have that one. And you guys, I don't have it ready, but I built a Lego Throg. So I was actually kind of hoping one of these variants had a picture of Throg on the cover.
Right.
Maybe that's the original. I don't know. And these are really different. Anyway, props to Mike for shipping. Wow, packaging was on point. And once I said, here's my address, it came pretty fast through a snowstorm. So good job. And if you're looking for comic book deals, Facebook and the comic book consultant is a fun way to grab some random books. So
I'm working it. I'm trying to get it so he's got more of an audience. I'm working with him. He's a little shy of doing production, so I'm like, it's super simple. If I can live stream, you can live stream.
I mean, once you learn all these buttons and you're on there, you're like checking the comics. I like this, that you can do this during the show. Say what's up to Red Carnage. Hey Carnage, thanks for checking in. And
Dude Jude is here as well.
Hey. Dude Jude is here. Appreciate you coming over from Holland and Ballin, another community show that covers the news. I checked in with those guys, and they were talking modulars. The new modular is going to be released probably January 1st. There's so much coming out, but it looks cool. That what do they call that? It's like an art shop and a motel. It looks like it's more like a Mediterranean hotel. Yeah, kind of very fancy. So
I like the way it's got that that diagonal to it. Hey, you Get the Brick, welcome.
The Brick is all caught up. He's up to speed.
Nice.
Spoil away. Nice. I like it. All right. So without any further ado, since we've got chat active, Dude Jude saying hi. And Get the Brick checking in. I'm fine. I had a really rough week a couple of weeks ago. I'm feeling better and back to normal, back to the museum, pushing night train tickets and dealing with all kinds of stuff at the Model Railroad Museum. So let's talk about this show. Oh my gosh. So it picks up right where it leaves off with this Ronin sword at Clint's throat.
Mm-hmm.
Jack, they're inside Eleanor's house, or because Jack is courting her, and Kate and Eleanor are there. I mean, the sword's at his throat, and they're like, "What the heck? Why is there Avenger in my house?"
All right.
Ooh, and then he's like, "You're the archer," and then Kate's like, "Hawkeye," and then he's like, "Clint," and it's just like a funny branding moment, which I think they were leading up to this joke, right? Because they had some branding moments, and they're going to get new uniforms. We'll talk about it later when the LARPers come in. So it's a really, I think, I mean, I gotta say it's my favorite because we got some big Easter eggs at the end, and so many theories to pull. So let's start start calling them out with the table setting of these four characters. Where they calm down, they put the sword down. There's a different sword on like a dining table, and they're talking face to face. Eleanor and Jack and Kate and Clint. So, and they do another callback of, "Hey, by the way, thanks for saving the world."
Yeah.
Because I mean, he's a celeb. Like, it's weird to think of celebrities. I guess we have some close relations with Lego masters that are prime time TV personalities. And they're just regular people, right? So it's funny to see this level of interaction and family interaction between Clint, Eleanor, Kate, and Jack. So what do you think about that conversation? She was trying to hack the computer. They got the data, Simone Limited and Kazi. And he actually texts that information to his wife, Laura. "Hey, can you check this out?" So we're going to start pulling strings right there, because I don't think, other than the little family banter, there's not much to pull there. I mean, I won't, because it's in my notes and it's worth saying. So Clint takes the Ronin sword on his way out. He steals the sword back. But before that, there's kind of an important conversation where Eleanor confronts Clint about being good is not good enough to keep you alive, comparing Natasha to her kid, and asks him, "Do you have kids?" And then just be like, "I'm gonna assume you do."
Right.
So there's my first theory, right? She knows he has kids. That's like, put this in your notebook. Eleanor knows Clint has kids, a family.
Right.
And this comes up later in the show. I think we got to jump around to properly
a little bit, just a little bit.
This. So,
because you're right, because the strings tie into different parts of the show.
Do you want to jump in? Do you want to explain where we see the family names later?
The family names?
Yeah. So when they're in Maya's apartment getting the watch, there's a notebook that says Laura.
Right. Right. So Maya is working for Eleanor / Jack. Do we think? I mean,
yeah. I mean, I'll take it. Let me take it. It's crazy, and I'm kind of talking a lot here, but
that's okay.
I mean, so right after Clint leaves through the elevator, Eleanor's on a phone and she leaves a voicemail. "Call me back. It's urgent." And so what? Let's start there, maybe, because I've got my own theories about. Maybe I'm digging too deep right away. Who do you think Eleanor called?
Oh, I was thinking about that. But again, I don't know. I mean,
There's an Avenger in her house, and she
mhm.
politely said, "Stop working with my
Yes.
daughter,
Mhm.
and you better, I hope everybody just does the right thing." And he says, "No, I'm not going to drop it,
Right.
but I'll do what I can to keep her safe." But so, and she immediately makes a phone call. So I think this is important. I think this is the call to either Val. It's the call to set up Yelena at the. It's the
Mhm.
call to set up the end scene. We get Yelena she set up the hit that brought Yelena at the end.
Right. So, and the whole time I'm trying to figure out, okay, where is other than the Maya angle and the tracksuits, where are we going to see more of a connection to Kingpin of the higher ups, i.e., Eleanor? So Eleanor and Jack, are they double playing? Are they? I mean, it's like, are they together in what they're doing, or is
Yeah,
Eleanor maybe working with Val and Jack is working with Kingpin? Again, strings on the wall,
yeah,
but
yeah. So put a pin in all these names.
mm-hmm,
The Kingpin's up there at the top.
mm-hmm,
Val is up there at the top. She is played by Louise Dreyfus from Seinfeld,
mm-hmm.
and she was in the end credit scene that set up the hit on Hawkeye.
Right.
We don't know the time order of that. Maybe Eleanor calls Val, and then that's when that scene happens.
That's they could play with time all they want with that. That would be perfect. Unless maybe it was just prior, and so they're trying to find Hawkeye. Well, of course, he wasn't hard to find. I mean, it's not like
No,
he was.
he's not hiding.
He's not in hiding.
If
He's
you
not
know, I
on
mean, and
house arrest
everybody knows
anymore.
who he is. It
Right.
seems like the waiters and
Yeah.
everybody are thanking him for saving the world, and he's just trying to have dinner with his kids, so people know him. It's a dangerous thing. It's why Spider-Man doesn't want his identity out there.
Right. I lean more towards Val gets a call. You see the end scene from the post credit scene from Black Widow. That happens the same day because because Val has to make a decision at that point who's going to take out Hawkeye. I've got Yelena here. I'm going to go visit her because she's working for Val at this point.
They were already, yep.
Hmm.
They,
So
yep.
she meets up with her. It's like the phone call is made. She meets her in the cemetery and puts her on the job. I mean, it has to happen that quick in the space of because you had. Let's see. I'm just trying to think. The night of the slushies and the ugly sweaters that
Yeah.
happens after Hawkeye leaves
Right. Yeah. So they had
Eleanor's
a whole
house.
night. Yep.
It's like that evening they do
Whole
their
day
thing.
off. Yeah.
Um, and then was it like the
And
following
then
night?
they had to go get the arrows too.
Oh yeah, so that was like the next day. So the next day they do the arrows. He goes and pays a visit to what's his name? Uh, doesn't he end up being the clown? Isn't that his character?
Kazi.
Kazi. Yeah, Kazi is the clown. I'm not familiar with that
Oh,
particular
yeah.
guy, but he pays his visit to him. And then it is that evening, which is the end of the show. So this kind of covers like a day and a half, 2 days. Is that about right for time frame?
Yeah. I think
And
from
so,
Eleanor's call,
mhm,
voicemail saying it's urgent, she gets a call back. Then I think, yeah, that end credit scene can happen where Val puts the hit on Hawkeye.
yeah,
In a Ronin, I mean, it's all about, the Ronin suit's also, very, uh, you know, uh, big part of this series. Um, so the other string could be Kingpin. Let's backtrack a little bit. So the text to Laura was interesting also. We can pull some strings with Laura. Sloan Limited, they got that off the hack of the computer. They figured out Jack is the CEO. The Tracksuit Mafia are all working together for the big guy.
Yeah.
And so we get this word, the big guy, and it's very interesting conversation with Laura speaking in German and asking if anything's missing from the Avenger compound. So she's tied to the Rolex right there.
Right.
She's asking about it in a foreign language over a phone call.
Uh-huh.
And has access to the transmitter signal later in the episode. She's the one that tracks it down to Maya's apartment.
Mm-hmm.
I have my theory of what might be going on there. Do you want to hear it, or do you want to take a shot?
Well, I'd like to hear your theory. Mike joined us, the comic consultant. Yes, if you have, dude, you are so behind.
You have to watch yeah, you have to watch all of MCU for this show. You have to be current with everything. By the way, Mike, I dropped a shout out to you. Thanks for shipping the Throg issues, and nice job on the packaging. I could not believe how well your comics ship with all the cardboard and tape. Very well done. Thank you so much. Arrived safely.
All right, so lay down some theory.
All right, so Laura's tied to the watch. She has to be an agent of some kind. She was like actually joked about being an agent when Tony Stark first met the family. She's like, I don't believe this. She's an agent of some kind. So I think that it's a callback that she worked for S.H.I.E.L.D. and possibly is the love interest of Hawkeye from the comics, Mockingbird, from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. kind of territory, and then went into deep cover to start a family and retire. So the watch was probably a gift when they were courting, and engraved watches is a thing, so it probably is engraved with both their names, like from Clint to Laura, and
well, because Mockingbird's name is Bobby,
yeah,
not Laura. I don't think Laura is Mockingbird,
right?
But I do think she knows some stuff. I mean, unless Hawkeye trained her, where'd they meet? Maybe they met at S.H.I.E.L.D., which is not, it's kind of retconned, into the MCU from the comic books. But I thought that was really, her insight is great.
So I didn't say from Mockingbird to Hawkeye. I was like, it's Laura and Clint's names, connecting the family, the cover family, so that they're exposed. So when they find this watch in Maya's apartment, also because they had the watch and were like figuring something out, they were writing down their names somehow, like researching it from whatever's on the watch to blow the cover on Hawkeye's the Barton family. So I think there's going to be an engraving on the watch, something about the Bartons and Laura and Clint, heart, and that's enough. In some sort of Avenger marking or something, this is like Stark watch.
Yeah, because the questions are why were the tracksuits sent to get the watch from the auction? Which backtracks to who sent them, and why does that person need the watch? Well, they've got some knowledge. Could it be Val? She's got insider S.H.I.E.L.D. I mean, she's an ex-S.H.I.E.L.D. type, so she's going to know what's at the Avengers compound and why this watch is important. I don't know that And that's why I'm like, okay, we've got Kingpin behind the tracksuits, but maybe Val and I don't know, man. I mean, it's like, are Val and Kingpin in cahoots, but maybe not working together, but maybe are they on are they both on the same track for something?
Yeah.
By the way, Johnny G, you have a very good point. Haley said, you need to check out the cover of this month's Cosmopolitan because she's on the cover.
Oh no.
She doesn't look like Hawkeye on the cover of Cosmo.
I don't have to pull a search. She pulls up like I don't know. I've been maybe clicking on Haley Steinfeld stuff, but so I'm sure I'll see that soon.
Oh yeah.
I can't believe how long she's been around since that True Grit movie. She was Oscar nominated.
Oh really? God. I'm behind. I can't keep
up. That was her first and like catapulted from there. So
yeah, good for her. I like her. I like her acting, her mannerisms, the way she, her face acting is great.
Yeah. So all right, we're in a heated discussion about all things related to the villains. It's a lot of theory playing about the villains. So let's talk about Eleanor and Jack a little more. Back at their apartment, Clint left, and they're still discussing Kate, like right in front of her. It was almost like she was overhearing them, but she was just laying on the couch. Mm-hmm. And they have that little discussion about parties and dancing, and they do a little dance number. Mm-hmm. And then Jack wrongly misquotes an aphorism, and I had to put that in. I had to look it up a little bit. An aphorism. Anyway, he says like the heart grows older instead of fonder. And,
right. Absence makes the heart grow older.
Yeah, he says a lot of those quotes wrong, and it's kind of cute. So they're really making them up to be the villains, but maybe not the ultimate bad guy of this series. So that's why we're theory making. Is it the Kingpin? Is it can't just be Jack? And I think Eleanor's above Jack in Kingpin's lineup. But now with this phone call, she has ties to Val. I think more directly than like she could have called Kingpin, and the Kingpin could have called Val, and then the hit got put on Yelena. But I think it's too personal.
They're gonna have 2 episodes to sort all this out.
Yeah,
that was a great scene. That's the scene inspired the T-shirt, by the way.
Oh yes.
He makes a great reference to being hip to be square. So I'm meta sporting some Huey Lewis tonight, but
that was the scene. Yeah. Meeting your celebrities again, you just kind of go a little goofy, and Jack mentions he would go goofy in front of Huey Lewis. That's funny. He's really like, he can't be the bad guy. He's just kind of too funny.
Yeah, he's very charming, which my understanding as the Swordsman, that was kind of his thing. He's a kind of a Zorro character.
Yeah.
Is how I look at him. Totally.
Yeah,
so
I like it. And Yelena kicks ass.
Totally. Yeah, I think it was New Rockstars had predicted that because there was the images of her before she took her night vision goggles and hood off, that was going to be her, and I'm like, okay, that makes sense. And I love her to death. She's awesome. So that was totally cool to see her. And the fight was awesome because it was a 1-on-1 or 2-on-1 fight. Sort of, I mean, you've got 4 people having this great rooftop battle, and there's 3 sides going on. That's always interesting.
Yeah, trying to find an image, but there's too much to cover. All right. So at least we're with family for the holidays. It's kind of the quote that sparks Kate to go visit Clint and do a holiday cheer, pizza party, daiquiri party, movie marathon, holiday movies, and at the same time, she learns about the Jack being the CEO of this Sloan Limited, so she's all over creating this conspiracy board. So, like my thumbnail, she actually writes on a poster of her aunt. They're in her aunt's apartment, Moira Brandon, another name that I don't know if we can pull that string and see what's going on there, but it pops up like it's like a lot. So I don't know what's going on there. But Sword Boy theory is, put up there with the black marker, and I don't know that they get anywhere there. They're trying to figure out what's going on, but I think until Yelena shows up, there's not much for them to grasp. All right. Well, they have some very fun times at their little holiday home party, apartment party, talking about trick arrows and that you have to go track the arrows back. And you have
that was very, true to life. What happens? I mean, it's like, it always seems like Hawkeye has this unlimited supply, but he's got to go get him.
He ran out when he was saving the world too. He's like, shoot, last one. And they joke about boomerang arrows, which is kind of a comics thing from Matt Fraction storyline. And Clint actually has boomerang arrows, I guess, but in this one, they're just joking about it. But they do go through some coin snap trickery.
That was so great.
And I remember doing that as a kid. I haven't tried it since, like, watching that show, but I remember trying to snap a coin and shoot it at somebody.
The accuracy, which is kind of cool, because it gives a little bit of exposition to her character and her accuracy ability, because that's the that's the thing about Hawkeye. It's not just arrows. He's kind of like Bullseye in that he always hits his target.
Yeah.
And so she nails it, after practicing just that one night, she gets that down. I mean, that's pretty good.
Gray Gargoyle. Man, I'll have to look into that one. I'm not sure. But there's a lot of
explanation on that one, Mike.
There's a lot of street level. I think it's this. You have the street level gangs under Kingpin, and you have the Thunderbolt level, Dark Avenger level gang, which appears when we see Yelena. I mean, it's straight from the comics with the night vision goggles, and it's Black Widow stingers being used, and I forget where we're at. So we did the coin snap. There's another kind of heartfelt moment with they're having a great time, and then she says, "What's your best shot?" And he says,
"The one he didn't take."
The one it didn't take.
Yeah, that was that whole scene of dialogue, I thought, was a high point of the show, because you got to the heart of the matter with both of them, and I think that's where, even though he's like, very beginning of the episode, we're not partners, no, we're not friends, they're hanging out, they're drinking, they're celebrating, sort of, and
learning. He's teaching her like the coin snap thing and about trick arrows. It's fun. So then she learns the backstory of Natasha, and then it goes further. She's like, you lost your family in the blip.
Right.
Man, that must have been, tough. He's like, I was trained to hurt people. I was not protect people.
He was a weapon,
With a weapon, right?
And then she asks him. She asked him the big question.
Yeah, she says, well, she just puts it together.
Yeah, you're Ronin, aren't you?
Yeah.
And he's like, we all dealt with it in our own way. And that was kind of like, for a SHIELD agent to volunteer that to her, especially with all the other stuff. Again, that, like I said, that little bit of dialogue was huge. And I'm glad that it wasn't really long, because I think to like Loki, the whole scene where they're talking to Kang, I'm like, this is going on forever with this dialogue. And it's a real showstopper when they do that. And so far these shows have only done that a couple of times. I'm really glad they didn't overdo it in this scene, but so it was great. They gave a lot of information. They built a lot of bonding between them in a short amount of time and really cut to the heart of it. So I think that is, at the beginning of the episode, he promised Eleanor that her daughter was not going to get hurt. He promised her. And here they are planning their next move. Yeah. And then I love it when they actually go out and they're casing the apartment, and he's telling her what to do, and she's just, nope, I'm gonna go do this totally different way and do my own thing. And he's just like,
yeah.
So by the end of the episode, kind of looking like partners. Am I right?
Partners. Wow. Yeah. I agree totally. It's like this moment where it might have been too slow for one of our other missing panel members. But if you put it on double speed, I don't know if you get the moment there. But I liked that there. So she knows about Ronin.
Because honestly, who else knows about Ronin? Natasha knew.
Maya seems to have a clue, and
probably the rest of the Avengers. There was probably a but I don't know. I mean, that's kind of a thing. I don't know if Steve Rogers would have been all that thrilled to hear about what Clint was doing during the blip, because that's not his style. But anyway, it's obviously a closely guarded secret, and he confirmed it with her. He's letting her into his inner circle, so to speak.
All right. Well, there's a couple of other comic book callbacks, Easter eggs, if you will. There's this T-shirt straight out of the Matt Fletcher AO artwork with the Nanket, and it's an arrowhead type of shirt. Pretty cool. And the coffee mug Clint keeps drinking out of says Thanos was right.
Thanos was right. I saw that. I'm like, what?
Again and again we see this. So I think
because he thought it was tagged on the urinal.
Yeah.
In the first or second episode.
It's a way to put us in their world, like living through this blip and re-blip, or the snap and the blip. So it was first the snap, and then I think the blip is the people coming back. So, they have Matt Fraction on board. I saw his name in the credits, so I think that's why this series is so closely following the comic book series. Other than changing grills into a LARPer, that's the next mission Kate goes on. She's on a mission to connect with a police officer. A lot of first responders in this LARPer. NYPD seems to have the arrows. There's a transmitter on one of them, and that was pretty cool to see the LARPers come back. Different than
CMI.
different than the comics. All right, see you later, Mike. Superpower of Dan. They have that crazy scene.
Yeah.
And they meet Wendy Conrad. She apparently is straight from the comics, at least in name, as Bombshell, another superhero. So
really,
a little race bending, but yeah, that character there, and this is new school stuff, out of my territory.
me too.
But like to throw that out there and draw the comic book connections, and that alone is giving this series bonus points for some of the comic book aficionados, I bet. And fans of the Hawkeye, Kate Bishop, Matt Fletcher series. So I was getting to the LARPers in the apartment. So Grills is cooking some snickerdoodles, and they make a deal for new costumes. They're like,
Yeah.
you know, trying this thing on. And I'm like, hey, we'll get you materials. How about you actually make us costumes? So that's definitely going to happen.
Yeah.
Sooner than later, I'm not sure. It would be great it might be a great going out on a high with them both with new costumes, which means he's not retired and she is still the new Hawkeye, or they're both partners again,
right,
with that title. You mentioned the confrontation with Clint and Kazi in the car, and him having Maya's ear and chasing ghosts. But I think we can keep going with the timeline here. There's another text about the watch and Maya's location, which leads us to this apartment and the rooftop scene. So here we are, the rooftop scene, the epic finale of this, kind of cliffhanger, because we see a lot of things happen. It's a great action sequence. Maybe instead of me explaining it, do you have a favorite part of the rooftop? Or you want to talk us through?
Well, the biggest question, I think I'm going to jump to the end. The biggest question I had was Clint didn't recognize who Yelena was. Clint's all about, he's in the intelligence business. He's a spy. He's an agent. If Black Widow occurs in the timeline when it did, how come Clint didn't know who Yelena was? He just calls her a Black Widow.
He said, Black Widow assassin.
Yes, a Black Widow assassin. The taking down of the Red Room story happens a long time ago.
Oh, you're right. No, but the end
MCU.
credit scene is a time jump.
Well, I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about
but that happened, and Natasha was still alive.
Right. I'm guessing that because you also have to figure this is post blip, so there's at least 4 years, right? Because the blip was 4 years in the MCU. Prior to Infinity War, Black Widow happens. After Civil War and before Infinity War. So the Red Room and the releasing of all of the women from the Red Room should be common knowledge. And then you have 4 years, and both Natasha and Clint were not snapped. So they've had time together. I mean, let's see. I'm trying to think. So when she tracks him down, and he's Ronin, this is shortly before Endgame, right?
As many of the Red Room Black Widows there were in that computer screen, at least they didn't show. They showed quite a few on camera, but there was a lot around the world. And if they were, whether they were released from that mind control, some of them probably still walked the dark edge and stayed assassins.
Very true. However, Yelena was her sister. I'm having a hard time understanding why they're not alluding to the fact that Natasha and Clint would have had a conversation about her family sometime in that 4+ years. Like, I'm saying that Clint should know who Yelena was. Anyway, that was just kind of a big, not really a plot hole necessarily, because it's not a huge hole. It's
I mean, we learned it about it then.
Right.
Yeah. I want to say during the blip of the 4 years, Hawkeye was becoming Ronin and being Ronin, not talking to anyone for quite a while. So, but before that, him and Natasha could have had a conversation.
Right.
About Yelena.
Yeah. And like her big adventure. I mean, it was obviously a big, huge thing. This huge floating, hidden evil lair fell out of the sky. And, I mean, you don't hide that, especially if you're in the business. Like.
So this is a plot hole you're trying to theorize.
It's not, again, it's not really a huge plot hole. I mean, not like some of the other ones that we talked about, but it's a little bit fuzzy. I'm like, how would he not recognize her?
Yeah, I mean,
because even if Clint has not had a conversation with Natasha about who Yelena was, he maybe has a dossier. I mean, maybe he's looked at.
So, as far as I remember, in the fight sequence, Yelena had a mask on nearly the whole time.
True.
Until the end, when Clint pulls the mask off, she's also stinging him in the neck with an electric thing.
Okay.
So I don't know that he saw her face at that point.
Good point.
It's Kate who sees her face, and they do the head nod thing, and then she jumps off of the building.
Yeah.
So I guess I'm going to debunk your theory that I don't think Clint saw her face. He was still writhing in pain. Did pull it off his neck.
Yeah.
A lot happened during this fight.
Maya took an arrow in the shoulder, man. That was like
Maya took we had some trick arrows. We had the zip line.
That was hilarious. She's like scooting on the zip line.
We had the stun arrow. There was so Kate falls off of the building with a grappling hook that Yelena saved her life. And this is another theory of me and Eleanor. Eleanor had to have made the call to Yelena or to Val first, then to Yelena, with specific instructions not to hurt Kate, but kill Hawkeye. Yeah,
that's not cool. But for whatever she's protecting, I mean, she's protecting something, and Clint is definitely, I mean, he's too close, so she has to have him killed. That's how it is. Yeah.
So that's kind of blowing my world a little bit, because Eleanor jumped from the street level Kingpin angle to the other string of Val and the Black Widows or the Thunderbolts. We don't know how far along all of them are with US Agent and maybe Abomination. Who knows what else? All right. So this fight, trick arrows. We got the stun arrow. We have the Black Widow stun stingers. And the night vision goggles just hit her face. It was just kind of a convenient thing and a good Easter egg to the comic book. Maya follows on the zip line, very stealthy. She makes no noise. Boom. So she's still fighting Kate. Clint's still fighting Yelena in disguise. And once they're both gone, Maya takes off because she's got an arrow wound. She's like, all right, this is enough. I don't know what else is going on with this other character. They're not connected, right? Another, that's why we have the string theory.
Right.
We have this tracksuit, Jack, Sloan, Kazi, Maya, big guy, Uncle Fisk, because they show that cufflink. So we know Uncle Fisk, Uncle Wilson is out there. And Charlie Cox is confirmed as Daredevil. So, like, basically the Netflix characters were canon to me already because they were referencing Avenger level events.
Yep.
They just didn't own the property, so now they own it and they're making it canon slowly, or maybe just not, like making a big announcement. They're just Easter egging it in a little bit. But we'll see Charlie Cox. I mean, have we seen any crossovers? I guess Spider-Man will be the first time we see someone from the Netflix series interact with, and it'll be Sony first, but I think it's going to go further, and it's part of this Phase 4 reality. It'll be interesting what they call the Phase 4, Phase 5 saga. Any theories on that? I mean, we explained the whole movie. Like you said, Kate says, "Who was that?" And Clint says, "You don't want to know."
Hey, Brett. Hey, buddy.
Where's the likes, people?
Oh, I threw mine in.
I'm not on. Yeah.
Pump that algorithm.
Some weird spelling there, but come on, people.
It's okay. He's British,
If you like the show, throw some likes and some comments. I appreciate Brick, Get the Brick, Chatter, and Brett showing up, and everybody else. Thanks for tuning in.
Cool.
What other
shout out to the chat? I mean, do you guys have any interesting theories? Any questions?
Yes, please.
What stuck with you about this last episode?
I know Get the Bricks had some comments. What theory, what string would you like to pull? We've talked about Kingpin a little bit. We've talked about Val and Thunderbolts a little bit. I mean, this is like stuff they're just whispering about. So, and we have 2 episodes left, right? We just did.
Oh, it kills me.
4 of 6.
Mm-hmm.
And
I'm with you. Get the Brick. I what's up with the Watch? What is so important about the Watch? What? Because it's like, okay, the Watch was at the Avengers compound. I mean, it was found with the Ronin stuff. I mean, so this is a important little nugget.
Yeah. I'm sticking to my theory. I explained it earlier. It's a family connection for Laura and Clint.
Mm-hmm.
And it just happens to be Avenger-ish tech, which ties him to Hawkeye also, and her to Avenger Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. level of assistance. And that's why the Watch is important. It ties them together and their identities. Because like the Ronin suit, she thought it was destroyed. And she's got connections. Laura Barton is definitely leveling up during this series, and as far as our knowledge.
And what other? Because I know that there was.
Brett wants to see what the dodgy guy is all about.
Are you talking about Jack?
Jack,
he's probably the most dodgy. Jack, the swordsman,
the sword boy.
And
he might. I hope we see him level up also into some sort of costumed persona. And if we follow comic book tie-ins, Eleanor could be Madame Mask.
Mm-hmm.
Another alias, if you will, for a supervillain or vigilante. Is the Watch a link? I think it is a link to Stark because it's got a transmitter in it. So it's not just a Rolex.
Could be Stark, or it could just simply be Shield. Could
Yeah,
be it
I
could be
think
Avengers, which is kind of a mashup of the
I
two.
think Get the Brick is hinting that Laura had more
Yeah.
knowledge than his
Well, if you
method.
recall, Laura and Nat were buddy buddy.
Yeah,
You know, Laura's in the inner circle at the very least. At the very most, she was also an agent at some point. Or
Agents of Shield. I mean, it was Nick Fury pulling all the Avengers together. It was
Mhm.
he created this Shield. Or I guess it goes way back to Agent Carter. And I hope we see more Agent Carter and Captain Carter. Sounds like Captain Carter is getting comic book series.
Oh, very
Yeah,
cool. Like the What If Captain Carter.
yeah, correct.
Yeah, cool.
Yep, they're pulling from the Disney series into the comics instead of the other way around.
Ooh, there's a good question. Laura, maybe a former widow.
All right,
Ah,
that's a different string right there.
that's a
And
new
there is
string.
the Natasha connection.
We don't need any new strings.
I like
No,
it
that's a
though. Yeah, web
good
this thing
question.
out. Web this thing out, and then let's cross them off like a Black Widow web. Thought there was already a Madam Mask. I'm not sure. We're just and I would have to refresh myself where her
Yeah, Mike
um,
split too early. That was a
where her
great question for
relations
Mike.
come from, but it's definitely about Kingpin, I believe. Maybe just from working from the Kingpin. But if Eleanor's more in with Val, um, I'm really leaning in on that. I think that maybe I hope the Kingpin stuff is not a red herring that they're having us chase.
Mm-hmm.
And then, but they stick. You got to stick to the character. You really have to stick to the characters we know. It'd be great to pull in Mosquito. It's like like just give us something crazy. Deadpool. But from this series, we have. I think we do have a serious lead with Wilson Fisk though through Maya.
Yeah.
And now we have, I think, even more established link of Val to Yelena to Eleanor. It's great. That's why I was excited to talk about this show in particular, because there are a lot of pieces of evidence that we can try to decipher, but there is no solid answer.
I'm totally with you, Brett. I'm ready for another good movie. After Eternals, I'm a little let down. And Shang-Chi was really good, though. I mean, but it was so outside of our current phases. I mean, they're bringing it in, but it was like we're gonna start this new story over here and bring it to what we already know. I am kind of looking forward to something right smack dab in the heart of what we know. That I agree with you. Hopefully, I mean, No Way Home is going to be kind of in that vein. I mean, only because Doctor Strange is a big part of it. Yeah, Get the Brick. Wait for Disney Plus to watch the Eternals. That's
Yeah.
I mean, you gotta watch it to get all the pieces together if you're a completionist like the rest of us. But
Yeah.
Don't spend money on it, man.
Well, it's a side story. It doesn't connect right now. Whereas this show, I mean, it's connecting all of Netflix. It's connecting Dark Avengers, which is all the the newest end credit sequences. What other end credit sequences have we had? I mean, U.S. Agent with Val, Yelena with Val. What was Eternals was just Eros, or Skyfox or whatever.
Yeah.
Was there another one though? I guess
there was a Black Knight.
Black Knight and
But
Blade.
where is he? I mean, like Black Knight, where is he going to fit in? I mean, at one point he was an Avengers. He was also a Defender. So
it was a hint with Blade. So I think they're going to go. vampire route or
Mhm.
supernatural route with Blade and Moon Knight and that. So
Yeah.
it'll all come together when something else.
Hey, Brickfella, great question. Was it any better than the Inhumans? It was kind of like them just rehashing the Inhumans, unfortunately. But you made this. You made the same link I did. I thought it was like Eternals was very much like, oh, it's the Inhumans on the big screen with a different group of actors. Yeah, I was just.
Yeah, I
It
think
was rough, man. I
Eternals
hated.
was
I hated that it
much
was so
more
rough, but it
watchable.
was.
Eternals was much more watchable than that series.
Yeah, definitely, definitely.
Better casting.
Mm-hmm.
They had TV level cast, and Inhumans that didn't relate. I think that was part of the detachment is they didn't
Yeah.
put. And Black Bolt has a mask, but Medusa, I guess I don't know. I guess they had the good actress for her, but
She was okay, and then the brother, the guy from Game of Thrones. Um, I don't know. I was kind of looking. I mean, his performance was pretty good, but I was really looking for outstanding because he was so good in Game of Thrones. Don't know the actor's name off the top of my head, but
yeah, casting.
yeah,
So,
you got to get the recipe right, man, to have a tasty product. You know, you got to get good casting. You got to have good writing. You got to have the good special effects. It's you can't miss any of those key ingredients. So
yeah. Well,
we,
they're
we, we
borrowing
can go
from
to
a
DC
fantastic.
movies for that if we want to see missing pieces.
Any predictions for Hawkeye episode 5?
Oh man, I'm predicting we're going to get some big puzzle pieces, but as many questions as we get answers, probably.
I mean,
We've got 2 episodes left, so we got to start, uh, you know,
I gotta
getting to
assume.
the end of some of these strings.
Yeah, I gotta assume, that they're kind of ending in a dysfunctional partnership. So Kate will go back home,
Mhm.
uh, and confront Jack and or her mom.
Mm.
Uh,
Yep.
uh, that will not go over well with Eleanor again. That they had this rooftop battle, although she put the hit on her friend.
Yeah.
And there was a caveat, I believe, to not hurt her. So she kind of knew that she would be in the vicinity of this hit. So that'll be interesting how that conversation goes.
Yeah.
She will probably hide the truth from her mom, but try to confront Jack about something.
So Brickfella asks, "Will Uncle be revealed?" I think 2 things are going to happen. They're going to reveal him, and I think everybody's convinced it's going to be Kingpin. They'll reveal him in the next episode, so that we've got something to play with for the following episode, or it's going to be an end of series reveal to just piss us off and leave us on some kind of a cliffhanger. Now we got to wait for more, but I really, really want them to reveal him next episode, so we've got something to play with. We can see him doing what he does. I was a big fan of the Daredevil comics, especially like Frank Miller, and Kingpin was just so. I mean, he was in so many different comics, but especially how he was portrayed in Daredevil was awesome. And when they took it to Netflix and did him on the screen, that was fantastic. So I hope they take the spirit of that, bring it to us in the next episode, and we can really, because like if you I hate to bring this up, but the Ving Rhames version of Kingpin. I hate to bring up that awful movie, but yeah, we need to stay away from that. Do you remember that?
Where was that?
Remember the Daredevil movie with Ben Affleck,
Oh, okay.
Jennifer Garner?
Okay.
Yeah, Ving
Yeah.
Rhames was
Oh my
Kingpin in
god.
that one.
Okay.
So, um,
No, let's not go there.
but
That is
So yeah, they I mean, they can't do that. They're that's like Marvel's Green Lantern. We just don't talk about it. But uh, if they can make, because Kingpin is just such a great bad guy. He really, really is. And Brickfella asks, will there be two major battles in the MCU with Kang? There's all. I mean, we got so many more bad guys we haven't brought.
Yeah, we got Kang coming. We know that.
We got Kang.
I think that'll be the baddie of Phase 4.
Yes, agreed.
It's
he's already.
And I mean, he's already from a Disney Plus thread. Loki, right? So Loki's giving us Kang first.
Gave us Kang. Ant-Man 3 in Quantumania. There was that photo of his helmet with Kang's reflection in the helmet. I think I put that in the Instagram.
Oh, is that Kang? I couldn't tell who it was.
Oh, you didn't know that?
I seriously thought it was Deadpool.
Oh my God. I was kidding with you.
I was like,
no, look at that.
Red face and a black eye. I don't know. It looks like Deadpool.
It is. I mean, it's Kang in the old school, typical green and purple look.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, and it's been theorized for a while. So yeah, I mean, that's
Loki, Ultron, and I really like rating movies and such based on how big and bad or good or goodly, well portrayed, I'll say the villain is. I loved Ultron, and Kingpin was great in Daredevil, and Thanos was great. But what we're getting introduced, we have a possible Thunderbolt Ross turning into Red Hulk. We've got Val controlling some sort of Dark Avenger team. We've got A-level team of bad guys, but then the person pulling the strings. We've got Kingpin, we've got Kang, we've got what else we got going up. So after Spider-Man, I mean, they're gonna they're gonna mash up these universe even further. We'll get on-screen Daredevil, Matt Murdock anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And he'll be a lawyer for Peter Parker for some reason. His identity's out there, blah blah blah. And we also have Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness after that, where there's not enough leaks out there right now to really, there is a Lego set that kind of speaks to what is it, Ishmael?
Yep.
Ishmael or something.
Whoever that the tentacle thing that we've seen
tentacle monsters coming back for sure. I want to go back to Brickfellow, but Geek the Brick says, we have She-Hulk coming too. More lawyer stuff to bring Matt Murdock into. Yeah. You gotta have day-to-day bad guys or street-level bad guys that they can actually put into a prison, and then they get possibly recruited to Suicide Squad type of Thunderbolt team. So
we're getting teased of a Sinister Six with No Way Home. We've got 5 baddies coming to us in No Way Home.
Get the Brick. Yeah, I like your comments. Get the Brick. We have the sister leading up the 10 Rings organization. We got Wanda out there. She's going to the dark side, reading the Darkhold, and OP is heck. So Wanda is, you got to put her in the villain category, I think, even though we haven't really seen that. I mean,
well, and so some other big ones that we might because we've got we've got the Fantastic Four coming to the MCU, you know, they've already done Doctor Doom twice with the Fantastic Four and then the god-awful dumpster fire reboot. So we've got to have him sometime, because he's
You got to have him again. I don't know that they're going to pull that string first. I think they're
probably
gonna
not first.
Cosmo.
I'm hoping we get to see Galactus.
Yeah,
That would be I want to see either that or Immortus with the Fantastic Four, a couple of the bigger nemesises, because Kang was also involved with Fantastic Four, and
yeah.
maybe we get an introduction to the Fantastic Four via Kang. That would be great.
I think
These
so.
stories are all about, you know, who's going to play the other side. You know,
FF is phase 5 for me, so I see phase 4 being the Kang storyline, and phase 5 building off of the Kang storyline into more Fantastic Four, or introducing in Fantastic Four finally, because I don't think we'll see it till then. We've got to get through another year, I believe, of phase 4, which will give us all those things and more. Sharon Carter pulling the strings. He's got some great strings to pull. Don't forget the Power Broker, right? So we had the Power Broker introduced. And you know, people switching sides. So it's been really interesting. Even Hawkeye was Ronin, not the greatest role model for quite some time. Bringing it back to that discussion. White Vision, right? That guy's out there. Oh my gosh! And I think, yeah, Wanda will be battling her wits and this new Vision character all over the multiverse. It'll be wicked. Well, we could talk all over the board. You know, let's keep it. I mean, I want to pull all the strings. I'm glad Brickfella checked in. Thank you so much. Fantastic comments, reminding us of the Power Broker and the 10 Rings being out there. And yeah, I guess with the movies coming up, leading towards Quantum Mania, it's all about Kang. But we're really excited to see Wilson Fisk in this series and some spin-offs. Because when shows do well, you know, Wanda Vision did well, so we're getting Agatha Harkness, the House of Harkness spinoff. I mean, Winter Soldier and the Falcon is giving us a new Captain America. It's giving us
gave us U.S. Agent.
Introduced
Val.
Val. Bucky is kind of let loose from his storyline, so he has also been a part of some of the Dark Avenger stuff or the Thunderbolt stuff. So it's hard to say what direction he might go. But it seems like his storyline is clean to change or disappear for a while. And then all the what if stuff just gave us a multitude of madness. I'd love to see, we're going to get zombies.
And most importantly,
when
are we going to get the X-Men?
And Deadpool's a part of the MCU. They bought his, right. So, I mean, that's the I mean, it seems like the only way to do it right is to put Ryan Reynolds in a give him his own movie and then have some cameos from MCU people, right? So what would that look like? And that could be anywhere. I mean,
you realize No Way Home comes out in 5 days.
I know. I can't hold my breath for anything because I gotta watch No Way Home. I'd like to see The Matrix in the theater, but I think it's gonna be like a choice where I see Spider-Man and then stay home and watch HBO Max.
Yeah, if it's gonna be on HBO Max, I'm just gonna watch it. I got a pretty big screen,
and
it's like let's just instead of spending the money because I'm rolling the dice on that movie, man.
if it blows my mind, I'll go see it after. I'll see it twice to see it in the theater.
Yeah.
After
I still have not seen Ghostbusters Afterlife. I need to go see that, and I want to see it in the theater. I was really, really excited. Lego said no more mutants. What does Lego have to? What say do they have?
Yeah, I just want to get through the rest of the year. I hope you guys are having a good holiday season out there in the chat. Take care. Keep the comments coming. Put some comments in this video's after, from going live, go back and give it a thumbs up and give it a comment, and I will entertain ideas for people that want to join our panel to keep things fresh as we move forward to a finale on the Hawkeye.
Boy, yeah, that's going to be tough. We're going to have next week. We'll have episode 5, but also No Way Home
to talk about. Yep.
So
yeah, do your homework then.
Okay.
See, I haven't bought a ticket yet. I kind of looked at, I can buy a single seat and probably see it the day of or the night before I want to commit. Either maybe Thursday, maybe Friday, and skip Friday Night Bricks. Is the best choice for me. The weekend's not good because I have so much going on.
Right.
So we'll probably try to sneak that in.
I think, yeah. In fact, I think. Because Friday night, I probably won't be able to live stream from Bricks and Minifigs. We're doing we're doing a sort night at Bricks and Minifigs, and I guess they really don't have permission from the franchise to film and live stream from their store. So. I might just be checking in on the chat.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Don't worry about FNB.
Not too much, no.
It's just a Brick and Chat show. No offense. If you're out there, Reed, we are doing our best to co-host that show with you. So if anyone wants to check out Friday Night Bricks, I will probably be there. Not sure what I'm going to build. But we've had our hands full. We've had a lot of talk about here. I'm ready to unwind for my Sunday night here.
I gotta get some food. I did get I got a No Way Home set. I got the one because you built the Doctor Strange No Way Home Sanctum Sanctorum one, didn't you?
Yes.
I'm grabbing it. This one.
Yes, that's good. You got to open that up and see there's a cool new part in there of an hourglass.
An hourglass?
Yeah. Sand going through an hourglass in one piece.
What?
Yeah.
With sand in it?
Yeah.
No way.
Well, it's like with two colors. It's not sand.
Well, okay.
The look, you got to just look.
Okay.
It's hidden on the box a little bit behind the computer.
Maybe it's
like on the floor next to the computer desk.
Oh, yeah.
I was
behind
nobody's
the
talking
box.
about this piece. That was a unique piece.
Oh, that's cool.
Right. I like it. Hey, Brick Fella, thanks for checking in. Thanks for checking in, Brick. Get the brick and Brick Fella. I'm gonna go out on that statement.
Thanos was right.
I'm sorry. I'm not a breeder. I don't have kids. There's a lot of people in the world, but we can all get along. So I won't snap my fingers, but I might try to get a mug that says Thanos is right, just for a joke. All right, take care, you guys. Larry, thanks for joining me. I know it's quite the
Pleasure.
commitment. But it's such a fun reconnection to comic books. Thanks for introducing me to the consultant, and we'll give him another shout out at the end. Everybody stay safe. Do something fun, have fun, call your mom, talk to your family, do something,
Have them over, sit down, maybe on Wednesday, watch Hawkeye. Watch Hawkeye together.
Yeah, have a movie marathon.
And then we'll get together next Sunday night and we'll talk
bake
about
some
it.
snickerdoodles. Have a good time.
Make some slushies, some adult slushies.